In this episode of My First Win, I head to Damien to get some much needed guidance on my tee issues. The driver isn't working. I head to Warrington for a little pre-tournament challenge, and we head off to Knot End to play the next event on the PGA Lancashire Players Tour. So this week we are focusing fully on trying to find a fairway. The stats last time, well, they weren't good. They were not good at all. 0 fairway found at stand. It was a little bit less flattering than it seems because a couple of them were only an inch off, but still I have some real issues. So I think the first thing we need to do is head to Damien, go and get a lesson so we can do some technical work. I also need some alignment work, some sort of planning work or strategy work, because I think that's well out. Then we're going to come back here, and we've got some work to do out here. Ooh, towie.
It's not so much setup. Setup's not too bad. It's just more change of direction. When you get to the top,
Yeah,
you can almost see it again. It's not so much sort of back and under this way.
yeah,
Then we'd see reflected in the path. It's just that the strike location, if it's sort of back, obviously exaggerated. If I'm going back this way,
yeah. Dragging that toe in.
as well. It's going to be toey, and then the body's going to stop, and there's going to be a little bit of that release.
Yeah, flipping it.
So again, if we said just for a couple of swings here, just trying to feel as though we're shifting strike location more than anything.
Yeah.
To do that, trying to stay a little bit more over it, or even feeling in transition the weight shifting a little bit more towards the. See how you've done that there?
Yeah.
Just do that, and then when you're in that position, then that's when you can sort of release it rather than it sort of moving back.
Yeah, I feel
the
it.
chest moving back. Exactly.
Yeah.
The heel side of that club just for a couple of shots. Feel like you almost.
Yeah, that felt like I was like
Yeah.
on a diving board almost.
Yeah. But again, what does that do to you? If you do that, you're going to get more over it that way. Which is when you're doing that drill of almost sort of exaggerating that and that. That's
Staying down on it. Yeah. More out the middle. Would you say on like a fairway then now for me, be more like dependent on wind and stuff and hazards, but even so, like aiming down the middle is probably a better play for me.
the thing like you said about the wind, and I think it is fairly well documented that a left to right wind for right-handed golf. It's a psychological thing, but you think these days these golf balls don't really move that much.
Yeah.
But it's amazing when you've got...
I'll make it move.
Even if it's like a little puff of wind out the right,
Yeah.
your mindset is,
Go for
happy
it.
days.
Yeah.
But when it's off the left, it's like, do we aim further left and that? But within reason, obviously you've got to assess what the wind's doing, but unless it's pumping,
Yeah.
you think...
There's not a lot of them where it's like, say 18th at Warrington.
Right.
On a calm day, I'll still aim over the trees left because I'm like, well, that's the safe shot.
Yeah.
And you're like, if you just tweak it and don't commit, the trees are taller now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to move it sort of 15, 20 yards.
Yeah.
As where when I do aim straight and I just commit and you flush it, it's like, it carries an extra 20.
Yeah.
And it moves 3 yards, even if the wind is off the left.
That's it.
But as soon as I feel it off the left, then I'm like, all right, peg it down. And, from me aiming straight here, I'm like that.
That's it. As soon as you do
And then I'm bringing that in, aren't I?
Exactly.
So we're back to the glorious Warrington in some yet squally conditions, but a great lesson there with Damien. Really sorted out a feeling in terms of my technical standpoint, what I want to be doing when I'm swinging the golf club. And then for me, it's that strategy element. That's why we're back here today, because as I said to Damien during my lesson, I have a habit of aiming off fairways or over danger, hazards, water, etc., out of bounds, and trying to move it maybe 10, 15, 20 yards back into play. So I've got to move the golf ball a lot, which is really throwing the golf swing out of shape. And then with my old thought, it just never matched up. So we're down here at Warrington today because I want to do a bit of a test. I want to see if I can hit some fairways. So our first hole is going to be the first hole, obviously. Trees on the left are quite intimidating here. It is a wide-ish fairway, but those trees make it feel less wide. I've just got to stick to my process though, get used to this aiming more central and just trying to hit it almost straight instead of overly shaping it. Tell you what, there's something in the magic here. There is something in this. Path a little bit more than I wanted, that's probably why we got the push, but let's see where we get the fairway. 0 out of 1, but literally a couple of paces off, and considering I aim central, it pretty much went where I wanted to. I should have taken the wind into account there. So the second hole is hole number 2. They will be changing, don't you worry. Not a bad result there from the first in terms of the swing. The result was only just marginally off the fairway, so that's fine. Here, there's a bunker at 225 up the right that you can't see because of these trees. So my aim again is central. The wind's a little bit off the right, so this should be perfect. Little cut down the middle. And these are the ones where I was making a mess off, just real simple shots, not giving it enough care and attention. But now there's a pine tree up there in the distance. There's actually a little walking sign next to it that I've got as my aim line. I'm going to hit a 3-yard cut off that, starting it over this divot. That's my intention. Regardless of what those numbers say, that is the exact shot I want to hit, and that is straight down the middle. Path 1 degree out to in, perfect. 204 carry, I was expecting 215, but a little bit into wind, perfect. Go for the drive-by fairway pickup. Oh, he missed it, he missed it. Never quite get that one. So hole 4 is attempt number 3. A simple hole again, one that I've struggled with. Bunker at 225 down the left, and then the water comes in on the right. That's going to be a really big miss if I hit it over there. That comes in at 210. 4 iron, winds off the right, just a little cut at the fir tree just right of the trap again. So it's going through this process like I try and do with my irons, being a little bit more on it and committed and aiming centered. Bit of a miss strike. I think it's just pulled up shy of the fairway. It was in line. That's where the bad ones, if I would have aimed 10-15 yards further left, that's then adding to the shot going in as well. Then there with a miss strike, it's a little bit right of where I wanted, maybe 5 yards right, but it's actually going to be a shorter route into the green, and that's where I need to capitalise on those misses instead of them being really penal. I can see where my miss came from. It was the old push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paces off the fairway for that one. So not great, but was a bad swing. The 5th hole, this is a great test for me now because the wind's off the left. It's a tightish fairway, one that does fall from right to left, so you do want to hit a little cut up there. I would probably aim right down the tree line on this one, as where now I'm only going to aim 5 yards off centre and just let the wind move it maybe a couple of yards. And that should be bob on. If anything, I may have hit it through the fairway. It was a tiny pull, tiny pull out to win the path 2 degrees. So I'm not quite where I was in my lesson, pretty much zeroed out in the lesson, but that is struck better. It's starting pretty close to target. We're getting there, we are getting there. It's just on, yeah, get it. Oh, that's a bad one. That is just a pure bad swing. Little bit toey. face shut there, which killed it. It's a missed fairway. Need to start hitting some on the backside. So our next hole is the 11th now. Long hole here, 460. Demands a good straight drive here. The trees encroach, fairway falls from right to left. Normally, I mean, I'd aim all different kinds of places, but it's that middle aim. Try and hit a little cut on the wind. Tiny bit pushy, but it should kick into the fairway. And there she comes. It's a fairway found. Path nearly there. We're on the right tracks, folks. We're on the right tracks. Another one found. This is a hole where I should hit more fairways, but I never generally do, and it's one of the biggest fairways on the course. Another one where I'm aiming all over the show is where aim straight and just focus on hitting the sweet spot. Wind's just got it a tiny bit. It's a missed fairway, but I'm generally happy with that. Just didn't quite get my fade on it, but we're doing a lot of good stuff. Sadly, a miss. Nearly though, good swing. Now the definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And for the last 3 years, I've hit driver here and never hit the fairway. All falls right to left here on the 15th. There are bunkers up on the right that's potentially in reach today because they're at 300 and it's down and off the left. So I'm actually going to hit 3 wood in the hope that I would get it into the fairway here, then I could go in with my second one. Little draw that is actually holding into a cut against the wind, and I think we're just on the right side of the fairway. It's another one found. Got a tough driving hole here on 17, par 5. It is a generous fairway, but they're very well guarded, the fairways generally here at Warrington. 3 bunkers down the left, the last one's 265 to carry. There is gorse all the way down the left. The wind's pushing you towards everything there today. Again, this is one where I'd maybe even like aim at the gorse, trying to cut it in some crazy thought as well. Straight down the middle, hit my little fade. That should hold it against the wind. Job done. Should be pretty good when the wind just knocks it out. And that was the exact shot I wanted to hit. Tiny little cut down the middle. Wind drops it. Wasn't my best strike, but numbers are great and we've got a fairway found. Another one found, another one. Now our final hole is one that I actually mentioned to Damien in my lesson, in the 18th here at Warrington. We've got the 049 on the right and out of bounds that way. Bunkers all the way down there, 270 to get past the bunkers on the right. But I'd be aiming over these trees. And I guess scenario dictates this, because if I was, let's say, leading the competition and I had to just make bogey, I probably would peg it up and hit it over onto the 11th. But, you know, if it meant actually I wanted to try and make birdie, I'd need to hit it down straight. So I've only got a little bit of a run into the fairway. So here, the wind is off the left, which makes it a little tougher. But I'm going to aim at the flag and commit to hitting it straight. Just find that sweet spot and see if we can find this fairway. He's only gone and hit an absolute peach. Past all the traps, bounding down the fairway. Job done a little bit, and you can tell from the numbers there, I'm 3 miles an hour slower than what I've been. Little bit out to in, which was okay, but there, fairway found, 60% done. A drastic improvement. We need to carry this on into the comp. I just need to get some practice, especially with that strategy side of things, because almost aiming straight feels a little bit alien at the minute. Right, competition day. Knot End Golf Club. I've not actually played. I've had a good little gander online, my strategy on shot scope, so the weather's good. It's time to go and warm up and then go and do battle. Let's get to it. So one great thing that has come from the My First Win series is my warm-up routine. I'm constantly doing it now before every game that I play, whether it be a competition or just another video that we're filming, and I do definitely feel better. That stretch activation work from Mike, some chips, some putts, and a few shots in the net. I actually get onto the first tee feeling ready to go instead of taking 6 holes to warm up, by which point the game's probably already in tatters. That'll do. Oh, that'll do. Safely away. Should be near the fairway. Maybe scamper up near front edge. Got off the first. Little toey draw. Didn't quite get the middle, but put that down to nerves. Looking, given the first tee, looks quite open here. Like I say, I've not played it before, but looks fairly open, but trying to get it in the fairway is my main priority today. From there, feel like I can do the rest, but focus on fairways. A lovely day for it. See how we go. 30 yards to the flag, but on a slope. 22 front, play a little left so he doesn't run away. Didn't quite grab as much as I wanted, nearly went in. That would have been a nice little start, a dunk. Never moved. It'll do, it'll do. Give yourself a chance every time. Cheers. Oh, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Pushed it. Cheers. Push, push, push. Job done. Easy done. Hardest hole on the course, that. .58 yards. What a delightful little number for a 58. Wind into. It's weird that wind did nothing to it. Thought that was going to stall like buggery. Oh well, it's a chance. It's a chance. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. Matt, sit. Shut the face. Shut the face, you clown. There's 4 pushes in a row now. Just tap that in. I need to make more of those wedge opportunities. Yep, I think it's all right. Go. Should be spot on. Cheers. Finally, hit a decent wedge shot. That is what we need. Young Matthew, get that debut. So young, I'm nearly 40. Nothing young about you, cock. It's the world's smallest flag. Aggressive. So slow that down the hill. Oh, that's annoying. Oh well. Good fall. Move on. Move on. Doing it nicely today. Onwards. This is where the real test comes in, trusting what we learnt with Damien. Aim straight, slightly off, and trust the path. Yep. It worked. It worked. Nowhere near as much curve when you don't chop across it. Amazing. Right, a bit of ignorance was bliss there. Forgot about the water hazard. But 230. 200 club. Leave it. If we get it, it gets on. If not, we'll pitch up. Great strike, Matt. It's just an awkward stance there, ball above the feet, and couldn't get comfy. Snapped at it. What a waste of a great drive. Oh well, chip and a putt. Dig deep now, Matthew. It was a 2 in the book of Carl, so it's not disastrous. We can come back from that. 55. Strange lie. 55, sort of play it at that. I have to get a bit toe across it. Aim a little bit left as well. Yeah. Kick right. Stop, stop, do not go off the green. Just grass into you, always hard to get any purchase. Actually played that pretty well. Just was not the place to leave it. Last shot diddled me. Right, long putt up the hill. Thought we would have had less.
That's okay.
Cheers, pal. A working man's 5 there. Working man's. Second shot, should have paid more attention to that Y. Will do. Oh, it'll do. A bit bottomy, but it works. 260 yards. 260. What we sat like? 260. 240. He's up the right for sure. And that right trap, fall short of it. Yep, fairway. A good bad un. A good bad un. It'll do. It'll do, donkey. Pitch and a putt. Need to take something from at least one of these par 5s. Just have a worse bounce if you could, please. Get it in. Class. Quite get down into it, a bit too much speed on that. That's gone in it. I'll play a provisional 3. You see that one? I'll just play another provisional. Great. All right then. Just make 5. Make sure I don't lose my marbles. And try and keep on doing what we did for the first 7 holes, which was actually play good golf. Have to chip this out. That'll do. Back in play. 76 yards. That flag a little bit tucked there. It is right. Play right of it. Play a tiny bit right of it. Oh. Nearly went in, but now we've got a 20-footer. Just can't spin my wedges, can't get check for some weird reason. Right, come on. Turn, how have you not? Stop. Let's move through the fairway. 74. Very similar to that last pitch we had. A little bit of headwind, try and play it the same way. Middle of the green, let it release up. Learned to pitch in the last hour. This is incredible. Just need to start holding a few putts now and we might get something actually worth talking about for once. Matthew, focus. This is your Redemption 9. Redemption 9. Cheers. There's one back finally. Bit of momentum, it was the ball. All the ball. The other one wasn't a birdie ball. Right, 122. Down and off the right. 48. The number. Please be the right yardage. Finally. Swung with a bit of freedom and it bloody works. Cheers. Momentum. Momentum is a mover. It is a groover. It is a spirit. What we want, nothing different, just hold a few. Hit it a tad closer. Jesus. Scared the life out of me, that. Potentially in the water. Oh, back of a divot. Right. 112. Let's see if we can up and down, save our bacon. Wind, you know, let's push the ball 40 yards right off the tee, has now done 0 with it. Cheers, appreciate that, love all your help, thanks. Definitely dead straight, that, definitely. Rotten.
Is that right?
Yeah, of course. Beyond that.
Hopefully. I think I'm actually hitting it quite nice so far. Just a few sloppy errors that were obviously the drivers, those two, just let it go. And then the par 3 bogey, but other than that I'm actually quite happy with how I've hit it. I've not played here before, so a couple of tactical things. That last hole I would have gone down the last fairway if I would have known how close that bit in, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far. Got, I think, another 5 holes to go maybe. A few more good opportunities, one here, another good drive, so keep plugging away and see what we can do. See what we can do. Well, good thing we just saw the playing partners then, because I didn't realise how much that runs down. I've only got 55, but the front's 35. Actually only need to pitch it near there. That green's about the size of one of my woks at home. Ah, you. Actually hit that how I wanted. Wind actually killed a 50-yard pitch, then I also had the fear of going over the back because of them two. It's great pace. Go on, get there, get there. Cheers. Wedge should have been better. But after watching your playing partners whiz it over the back, it was a bit scary. And it was actually the first one to put any spin on today. Ironically. Need to be sharp there. Just caught the front edge, I think. It'll do donkey. That's so annoying. How is the wind not moving that? Absolutely irritated the nut out of me, and I think that sums my round up today. Hit the shot I wanted. Wedge at 140 to land maybe 170. Wind's done nothing, and it's a hurricane. Actually feel like I've done a lot of good stuff but got nothing from it. Class. Another good drive. 142 flag, 130 front. The wind, come on, it's... I mean, we've got a little bit of a look there, kicking off the knoll, but... Bounce straight, all right.
Original ball number 4.
Cheers. It's all right. 200 yards. I thought there was water. There's no water here. That was a terrible clubbing mistake there. Just short right, that'll do. Definitely the wrong club off the tee, that one. Get in. Be a bit slow. The most frustrating round I think I've played this year.
Nice one,
Cheers,
Matt.
pal. Well
Nice
done.
one, mate.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, Matt. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Oz.
Nice one, mate.
Well, back to the drawing board. Lots of good, lots of frustration in there, I would say. 4 over with some of the softest bogeys going. And didn't hole a bean. Didn't really get much from my good shots either. Drove it well though, drove it nicely. So that is 18 holes at Knott End Golf Club, a course that I've not played before, and I think that harmed me. I'm going to be interested to see what my stats say today, because I feel like I've done some stuff quite well, but I think I might be over-egging how well I've actually done. Score, not exactly what I wanted. It was close, we just need to stitch it all together, but let's head back to the studio and see what the stats are actually saying. So looking at the stats now, I do feel maybe that I was looking through rose-tinted glasses a day after the event, and the good news is that they are going in the right direction. Definitely my scores are going in the right direction. I would have liked to have carried on with that level par streak that we had from Formby Ladies, and then carried on, and I do feel that I need to start shooting under par a bit more regularly, or even doing it once would be nice in competition. But from being minus 4.12 with the driver last time, we were actually only minus 0.7, so a dramatic improvement there. I actually gained on my approaches because I hit some decent iron shots in there. Maybe some could have been a little bit better, some more of the basic ones I needed to be a little bit better. But it's when I'm hitting my driver well, I need to capitalise on it. We see that my short game goes to minus 1.7, and for me that's where I think I've lacked a little bit. I went through a nice period in the first 6 holes where I've driven it well close up to some greens on par 4s, but then I'm left with 20, 30 foot putts for birdie, as where maybe trying to get one inside 10 foot would be nice to give me, you know, a really good look at birdie, as opposed to an outside look. And then my putting, I've dropped back to minus 2 on that in strokes gained, as where it was 1.5 gained last time from stand. And with that, I don't feel too bad there. There's never really a lot wrong. I had a lot of long putts. I didn't 3-putt at all, but I then didn't hole anything from really inside 6 feet. I missed a little tiddler there on 14, which is obviously going to be a big shot. That's 1 stroke straight away, because it was only a 2-footer bit up the hill right to left, and just dollied it a little bit. But overall, I think I'm doing a lot of good things, and I am happy with how my game's trending. I'm practicing more than ever now. I'm actually enjoying playing in competitions, which if you go back 2 years ago, I never thought I would have said that. I would have thought, you know, my days of competition golf are gone. And it's great to be having the lessons and going through these learning experiences and sharing with everyone who's watching. So the best is yet to come, I think, and it's nice because outside I've played some social golf and I'm definitely hitting it better. It's just tying everything together at the right time. If I could get all those strokes gained to be around -1 and a couple of them actually picking up, I think then we're in for some really good golf. So stick with me. I hope you're enjoying the journey. We've got open qualifying coming up soon. We've got another comp before that though, at a course that I know. So fingers crossed we can piece it all together and get that good round. Maybe, who knows, we might get that first win. Guys, if you've enjoyed it, hit the subscribe. Why not watch another video just over here? It's coming, it's coming.